What up, what up? What's going on, y'all? I believe that I've came across something that's put a new perspective in my life. I had to learn the hard way that you cannot buy appreciation. Now, I'm not talking real estate. Appreciation as in you can go across the world and do as much as you can for somebody else. And at the end of the day, you still can feel as if you're not appreciated by that person. Right? And it's such a sad thing because you do these things. A lot of times when you're asked to do favors or asked to help in one way or another, you do it out of the kindness of your heart more often than not. Like, your friend tells you, can you help me move? You say, yeah, I can help you move. You don't want to move. You don't want to go to his house and pack up stuff and put it in a truck and then go to the new house and unpack stuff. You don't want to spend your whole weekend doing that. And maybe they pay you whatever, but I'm just saying, like, on a normal basis, if you really pay attention, right, you will understand that appreciation is a thing that a lot of people don't know how to show. Anytime that, maybe it's because of how I was raised, but my family made sure to teach me that I needed to be appreciative and show my appreciation for the things that I was achieving in life through someone else's willpower. So if somebody else, gave me a painting or they let me borrow their charger, I'm always going to say, appreciate you, thanks, something. You're going to feel acknowledged. But if I ask, hey, you care to do this for me? And it's a small task, and I never expect anybody to do it, right? You don't have to do anything in life, right? But if I'm the one that's always doing those tasks, and then I ask to do those tasks, and it's like I don't feel appreciated, and then on top of that, I'm not getting the same level of return, then it starts to make me doubt your self-character, right? Like, was you not put into a position or not raised in a position where you should be nice and considerate of other people's minds? For me, I just never understood it. I never understood it. The worst one is that I was raised in Tennessee. I'm gonna tell you why it sucks to be raised in Tennessee. Most southern states, actually. In Tennessee, we have what they call is Tennessee Southern Hospitality. Southern Hospitality, all that means is that from kid to your adulthood, you're trained to not notice opening the door for other people that are coming behind you. Not that big a deal, right? You open the door, somebody's 5 steps behind, takes 3 seconds out of your day, you stay there, hold the door for them, and then they come in. And if you're lucky, they may say thank you, appreciate you, yada, yada, yada. Well, when you don't get that thank you, that's when you feel like a DA, a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Because you done waited 5 seconds. If you done waited longer than that, then now you really feel stupid. But if you done waited 5 seconds to hold the door for somebody and they just walk in like you were supposed to do it, you know what I'm saying? Appreciation is a thing that everybody needs to always be able to show and needs to be able to implement in their lives on a consistent basis, because there's so many things to be appreciative for. There's so many things. You wake up breathing. You're able to watch this video. Your eyes work. Right? There's so many things to be appreciative for, but people do not show their appreciation enough. You could, a lot of people would say that it all comes down to the actual person that's receiving the action. But I don't know, man. With my personality, let's just say I do hold the door open for somebody, they walk 5 steps, they get to the door and they just don't say anything, I'm be like, you're welcome. I held the door for you if you didn't notice. And then, they may say something smart back. That doesn't usually happen, but most times they're like, oh, my bad, I'm out of it today. And if they really will, admit to saying something or have some type of phrase, then you don't feel as bad. But it should just be automatic. Appreciate you. You didn't have to do it. It's cool. That's the nerd thing that I was going to dive into, is that I've started to realize a lot of human nature tendencies that everybody, no matter what your race is, no matter where you're at, that I feel like you should have embedded in your soul as a human, it really seems as if that's disappearing. You know, I went to the store the other day. I was just walking in the store, and I was just in a good mood, right? Just friendly, happy. And you walk past people, good morning, and then they just say, like, they don't even want to say good morning. I get that I'm a stranger, right? But good morning. Another one was, and this is a weird one. This one actually took me for a loop. I went to Atlanta a few months ago, probably about 3 months ago now. I went to Atlanta, and when I went to Atlanta, I learned something. What did I learn when I went to Atlanta? I learned that people are really just, they don't want to have friends. Nobody really wants to outgrow what they're accustomed to. What I mean by that is a lot of the people in Atlanta, for example, I'm just a random person there, and I'm just wanting to enjoy the day at this point. I'm like, you know what? I finished all my work. I've done everything I needed to do. I wonder if somebody would be down to just have a meal. Let's go grab some food. Let me just meet somebody at a mall, see what they're up to. Let's just have some food, right? And so I was just going to surprise random person. So I go around, talk to a few people here and there, and I have a couple conversations, but nobody's really like wanting to embark on talking to somebody new. And you know when you can feel that feeling of when you're around and you're talking and you're engaging, and you can just tell that it seems as if the atmosphere doesn't want you. And I'm not talking about an anxiety feeling where you just always feel like, you know, the world's against you. I'm talking about just in those specific moments where you feel like I'm not supposed to be here. Like you walk into some scenery where everybody's already talking and you're not really included in the conversation. And it's kind of like they don't really plan to include you in the conversation. So you're just standing there for like 3 to 5 minutes. That type of position. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I'm a social person. I can talk to anybody. But the people that I'm seeing, this is where the human nature kicks in. The people that I'm seeing that's out there, they're not wanting to engage with other people. It's like they grew up around their 5 friends and they're kind of cool with sticking it out with a couple of friends here and there. They're not really wanting to go out and do things. People are just staying inside, right? Staying inside, watching TV, watching YouTube, watching Reels, doing whatever. And nobody's actually taking initiative to do anything that will alter their life in some way, shape, or form, or at least meet new people. A lot of our human tendencies are seeming to evaporate. Seems like we no longer have the same type of desire toward human philosophies as we once did. Which is okay, you know, the world has to grow. Everything has to change. You can't ever believe that the world's just going to stay the same for your entire life, right? If you want the world to stay the same, you're going to be a boomer with a flip phone. And then when you have to upgrade to a smartphone, when you have no other option and your flip phone no longer works and they don't have any flip phones for you and you're forced to get a smartphone, what are you going to do, right? Yeah, human nature, man. Human nature. People got to start going out more and got to start doing things, got to be more active, eating healthy. I'm telling you, this whole lifestyle change that I've just been working on day by day, it's just, it starts small, right? You start out just saying, I just want to get a 6-pack. And then it's like, man, I kind of want to fix my diet a little bit better. Instead of me just focusing on getting a 6-pack, I kind of want to eat healthier all around. Like, I don't want to, I'll tell you why. I had went on this diet. I call it a diet still. It really at this point is a lifestyle choice for my nutrition, right? But I started this diet like 3 months ago. Chicken, potatoes, broccoli. And the first time I had a protein bar, a processed protein bar, because keep in mind, my body's now had all whole foods in it for X amount of time. So I've had this protein bar. And man, my stomach hurt. I felt wheezy the next day, bloated the entire day. It was night and day difference, bro. I've eaten protein bars my entire life. Not my entire life, but like last 10 years. I've eaten processed foods my entire life. And so when you start to change your within, you start to realize everything around you want to improve. You don't just want to improve your body no more. You want to start improving your mindset. Right? I mean, look at me now. I'm more active than I've ever been in my life. A lot of people say that their teenage years is their glory years in terms of their physicality. No, I'm telling you right now, I'm more physical than I've ever been. Getting out, soccer, basketball. I don't really play much other sports than those two. Soccer I've gotten more into in the last like 5 years. Basketball, I've always liked basketball. But I don't really play a lot of sports. I think I'd play tennis if I had some friends to play tennis with. That could be kind of cool, maybe. I'm up for anything, man. I'm not against many sports. Golf's open. I'd do golf. That'd be cool. I like going to Top Golf. Y'all ever been to Top Golf? I'm going to tell you, that actually just made me think of a good little scenario, a little break away from what we've been talking about. And then I guess I'll cut the video here just to, give some variety. One thing I wanted to say is that thinking about Top Golf, there is 3 spots consistently you can go on dates at that's like, it's always a hit. Top Golf is one of them. Top Golf is a good date spot. And I don't know if they have this in your city, wherever you're at, but a lot of times they have a nighttime arcade style bar where you can go there, get on the arcade, and you can play and yada, yada, yada. Things like that. And so that's another good date idea, because you don't want to just go to the movies, right? You don't want to just be sitting silent. You want to do something. I've done the restaurant dates and things of that nature, and they're cool, but I'm more of a, let's do something. Let's go out and let's have fun. You can go out and meet somebody and talk to them, but like I said, I can have fun with anybody. I can have fun. I can talk to anybody. Nothing changes for me. So that's where I'm going to end it at. I just wanted to throw all that out at you. Everybody has their own ambitions in life. Take with this video what you please. I just throw out my knowledge because it's all I got, right? At the end of the day, if we get to 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, somebody needs a doctrine to have some type of philosophies to understand and study. And maybe they might realize the differences and they might help cure some diseases in the future, right? Start tying people's mindsets together, things like that. You can only learn. The world can only get better over time. That's how I see it. Until next time, y'all, be easy. I'll see you next time.